buckled up?
Welcome. I'm Chris. This here is your driver, and today we're going to explore this city together.
Yeah.
This is Squatter's Alley. A lot of drivers used to use it as a shortcut. After months of civic action, which is how the alley got its name, this was banned. It became a quiet oasis in the midst of this bustling neighborhood. Of course, every driver respects the ban and won't ever take shortcuts here. Am I right, driver?
This is the very heart of Emberville's deep and rich musical history. Even with the arena in Belvedere,
It's still the dream of many young artists growing up here to perform on this famous street. As well as commissioning local artists for designs, advertising firms and institutions across Emberville will contact some of our amazing street artists to bring a modern and creative flair to their messaging. The premier hotel of the Strings still finds itself home to some of the smaller artists who come into town to perform at the arena and on tune. The public is welcome in its bar and lounge every evening, where you'll often find busking performances from local talent. This quaint house on the river once belonged to famous local writer Laurel A. Jameson. She had it built with proceeds from her debut novel. Nowadays, you can tour the property and look at drafts of her later works, including the chilling crime thriller Blood on the Water, said to be inspired by Laurel A.'s view of the cinder. All Saints Church has been an important part of the Windfall Oaks community ever since it was built. But even before that, this site was important to Amberville's history, as it was the site of a camp Florence Belvedere Wright and her fellow settlers used before crossing the Cinder. Little did they know then what was about to befall them.
Yeah!
This radio tower is a repeater,
to ensure that even further from the city, folks can receive radio transmissions.
This isn't just about making sure they have access to WEMB Live, but also important emergency radio broadcasts in the event of any natural disasters. When Windfall Oaks children start elementary school, they have to find a way to cross the Cinder and the Ember to get to Ash Tree. Before then, though, the suburb does have its own preschool run by a great mother-daughter combo called Dawn and Rachel. They're the best at what they do. Here we are. Have a safe trip, everyone. Emberville didn't have an official state-run postal service until the turn of the 20th century. Until then, post would be delivered to the post office in Wright's Crossing and taken to where it needed to go by local volunteer couriers.
This post office was built in 1972, after the United States Postal Service was founded a year prior. The riverboat took over tour duties of the Cinder and
Ember Rivers in 1980, built to the exact same model of the original, which sank after a small fire in its engine room. Its service ended in early 2009 when the company that ran the tours shut down in the wake of the global financial crisis.
Over the last half-century or so,
We in Emberville have always tried to be vocal proponents for using as much clean energy as we can. This wind farm provides power to parts of Belvedere and Windfall Oaks. See if you can spot the power plant by Prospect Bridge. Sparkfest Fair began in the 1900s as a yearly gathering. It was arranged around the Campbell family's beloved corn maze when they were humble farmers. With the Campbell's wealth, it grew to draw visitors even from outside the Twin Rivers Valley. Nowadays, it's more of an institution than a lively park, but always worth a visit. This large building is our natural history museum. If you have even the slightest interest in dinosaurs, this is the place to go. Before the mining catastrophe, the local operation revealed real treasures, including
a complete skeleton of a massive Diplodocus. Ooh, you will feel like a tiny mouse when standing next to it. 3-floor gym and spa facilities, and how close it is to the arena, this Hotel Shelley gets booked up super quickly, as some of you no doubt know. Even as a local,
I like to stay here for a weekend now and then. This egg on the wall here marks the best breakfast this side of the Ember. At least if you ask the locals. Conveniently, there's a bus stop here too. And make sure to try Frankie's French toast. Oh, it's fantastic.
the SE Auto Arena is home to the Diplo Dunkers, Emberville's local basketball team.
It also hosts frequent international music acts. If you're visiting for a show, don't be put off by the lines. The locals know to go around and use the second entrance. This is a relay facility for the local power provider, Emberville Electric. Most of Emberville's electricity is generated in hydroelectric plants, all located in the surrounding mountains and river valleys. Believe it or not, the odd problem is that this valley has too much water during springtime. Over here is the old original Colton Radio's manufacturing site. Nowadays, it's a shared office building for a conglomerate of tech startups, agencies, and logistics companies in the construction sector. When our drivers are stuck in traffic because of a roadblock, this is who we complain to. Congress building. Its impressive facade was meant to replicate moving traffic, in keeping with the theme of cars that dominates new heights. And it's got a surprisingly relaxing space below its overhang, a pretty common spot between the heart of downtown and the neighboring park. Not too bad for SE Auto's law firm.
There again already? Well, hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Have a good one, everybody. Of its long history, this building has been a hotel, a bank, an embassy,
and twice a temporary hospital. First during the Civil War, then after the mining catastrophe. Now, like most of New Heights, it belongs to big business and new money, with the top 3 floors all owned by SE Auto's legal firm. looks like an unfinished building over there is really an event location for a biannual open-air exhibition for the latest in construction technology. Unfortunately, entry is quite exclusive.
Though from the outside, you would usually see some really cool, highly specialized, massive machinery. A big trend seems to be electric battery technology.
This, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody else, is the beloved home of our brand new bus service. It's amazing how much progress our bus driver here has already been able to make in helping us improve our public transport services. Everyone, give it up for him. Throughout its history, the tracks has been more a place of transport and industry than anything else. But as more and more people want to move closer to where they work so they don't have to commute, the need for new housing has increased. Tony's Cars has long made a name for itself in Emberville as the go-to dealer for new and young drivers looking to buy their first car without a massive investment.
Their mechanics are so good at keeping vehicles moving that we poached them to work for us instead.
This was once meant to be a major station on Emberville's elevated railway. As you can probably see, it didn't last. Emberville was closed for local rail transit when it became clear that traffic for mining would cease. It's still used for through traffic. Appearances fool you. The Omega Chi students are actually a really respectful lot. Each July they put on a super entertaining performance of the Rocky Horror Picture Show down the road at the youth center. Well worth a night out if you happen to be in town. Is anyone else in the mood for donuts right now? Manor Reed's is one of the best places in the city for them. The entrance is just around the back, or through the main foyer of the block of flats, then just up the stairs or elevator. Before the first bridge was built here, families would sometimes use small boats to cross the Ember to get from the Strings to Ash Tree. In our local history museums, you can still find photos of people queuing all the way down the banks. Personally, I listen to WEMB Live all the time. It's Emberville's very own radio station, and it is truly rooted here. The local Colton radio manufacturer provided the technical support and custom-made components. In fact, some of those Colton components still keep the radio station running today.
starting your trip with our tour. Our driver puts in a lot of effort to craft the route every day. If you enjoyed it, maybe send a nice postcard.